Unit 8, Lesson 13. I know what information a box plot shows and how it's constructed. I can use the 5-number summary to draw a box plot. Today we're not going to do a whole lot of drawing of box plots. We're going to do a whole lot of getting the information off of a box plot so that you can answer questions. So it says, here are the birth weights and ounces of all the puppies born at a kennel in the past month. What do you notice and what do you wonder? The first thing I notice is all the numbers are in order. I also know that they go from 13 to 20. So what do I wonder? Why are there 2 empty boxes at the end? All right, so the next one says the 5-number summary. So a box plot is made up of 5 numbers. You have to know what those 5 numbers mean, and you have to know how to find those 5 numbers. So the first one is your minimum value. Your minimum value is exactly what it says. If the numbers are in numerical order from least to greatest, you're good to go. And these numbers are. So my minimum value in this case is 7. Then it says, what is the highest value or the maximum value in your data set? That would be 42. So then it says, what is the median of the data set? That would be quartile 2. So I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to find the median just like I normally would by crossing one number off on each side until I get to the center. I have 2 numbers in the middle, so I add them together. So 20 plus 20 divided by 2 gives me a median of 20. So now I'm going to erase all these extra lines that I made. So the median of the data is 20. So that's the halfway point. That means that there are 10 numbers on each side of my data because I have 20 numbers here. So now I have to find the median of the lower half of the data. So again, I'm finding the median, and I'm going to use a different color. I'm finding the median of the lower half of my data. 2 numbers in the middle again, so I'm going to do 10 plus 11 divided by 2, and I get 10.5. It's going to fall right there. I'm going to erase all the crossouts I made. All right, and then I have to find the median of the upper half of my data. So again, I'm finding the quartile 3. I have 2 numbers in the middle, so 28 plus 30 divided by 2 is going to give me 29. So my 5-number summary is made up of the minimum, the maximum, the median, the first quartile, and the third quartile. And I get that by finding the median, and then the median of the lower half and the median of the upper half. So now it says, what is the range of the data? So the maximum minus the minimum. So 42 minus 7 is 35. Then it says, what is the interquartile range? Q3 minus Q1. So I'm going to go back and look. Q3 was 29. And Q1 was 10.5. So 29 minus 10.5 18.5. So now we're looking at the 5-number summary in a box plot form. So you have your 5-number summary. You've got the minimum marked as the first dot. The maximum is marked as the last dot. Then you've got quartile 1 is the outside of the box. Quartile 2 is the center of the box. Quartile 3 is the other side of the box. Box plots are made of medians. That's really important that you know that. You need to know that quartile 2 is the median of the data, so that's the 50th percentile, and 25% or 1/4 of the data is held between each set of dots. So this is 25% of the data. This is 25% of the data. This is 25% of the data. And this is 25% of the data to make up 100% of the data. So now it says practice problem 1. Each student recorded how many books were read during the summer. Here's a box plot of the data. What is the greatest number of books read by a student in the group? So they're asking for the maximum, so that would be 15 students. What is the median number of books read by a student? So that would be the quartile 2 or the second line, so it would be 6 students. All right, then it says practice problem 2. I have to find the 5-number summary, but these numbers are not in order from least to greatest. So it's going to take me a second to get them in order. So I'm going to just double check and make sure I have them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's always important to make sure you've got them all first. So then it says, what is the lowest value in your data set? 3. What is the highest value? 12. What is the median of your data set? So I'm going to cross them off on each side. And lucky for me, I don't end up with 2 in the middle. So 9. I'm going to switch colors so that I can find the median of the lower half of the data. 2 numbers in the middle. I'm going to add them together. Divide by 2, and I get 5. So then I'm going to find the median of the upper half of my data. Two numbers in the middle, divided by 2, and I get 11. So there's my 5-number summary. So those would be the dots that I would plot to create my box plot. Then it says the box plot displays the data on response times of 100 mice. That's really important to know. To seeing a flash of light. How many mice are represented by the rectangle between 0.5 and 1 second. So I know if I have 100 and I split it into 4 parts, because there are 4 sections to a box plot, I know that each one will hold 25 mice. So if my goal is to figure out the rectangle between 0.5 and 1, that's 25 and 25 mice, so that's 50 mice. How do I know? There are 25 mice in each part of the box plot. All right, so now you're going to go ahead and get on IXL. You're going to interpret box and whisker plots. Sometimes they're called box plots, sometimes they're called box and whisker. The whiskers just mean the lines out from the rectangle. Then I need you to go on and do your cool down for lesson 13.